Hey guys, Shido here again with part 3 of my first impressions of the 2014 fall anime season. As stated in a previous video, this is based solely on the first or second episode of the series, and not an overall opinion of the series as a whole. In part 2 I covered a new romance comedy called Okami Shoujo to Kuro Oji, or Wolf Girl and Black Prince. Another mech series called Cross Anji, a supposed reverse harem called Akatsuki no Yona, and a harem show called Mara no o to Vanadis, and of course the new Fate Stay Night series. Now let's jump right into part 3. I start off with Hitsugi no Chaika Avenging Battle, the second season of the series, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked the first season as well. It was confusing, but fun. It was confusing because of the mystery behind Chaika herself, and I hope that this season answers all the questions. Obviously, if you watched the first season, you'll most likely be watching the second season, and honestly, I think it's really worth checking out. Next up is a show called Amagi Brilliant Park. Seiya Kane is a pretty boy perfectionist who is one day forced to visit an amusement park that's run down and in danger of closing. To try and save the park, he's made the manager by the park's owner, and now he has to use his skills in entertainment to save the park. But there's a catch, and that catch is that he only has 3 months to do it. The series is listed as a romance comedy, but in the first episode at least, it doesn't really feel like one. The animation is well done, and is much different than I expected it to be. I was expecting a silly and shameless harem show, and instead, I left feeling surprisingly intrigued. The main character's past as a child actor has added an interesting touch to him. I'm actually quite interested in what they're going to do with the story. So for now, I'll be continuing with the show. And the next show from the new season that I checked out was the first 2 episodes of Denki-ga no Honya-san. It's a harmless comedy about working in a doujinshi store. It's harmless, but it's also not very funny. The animation is cute, and while it's not very funny as a comedy, it's still entertaining. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it, but if I had nothing better to do, or nothing better to watch, then I wouldn't mind watching it as a time killer, really. Donten ni Waru, or Laughing Under the Clouds, was the next show that I checked out. The series takes place after the Meiji Restoration, and because of that, there are many criminals running around. The government built a giant prison in the middle of Lake Biwa, Japan's largest lake. The Kumo brothers are put in charge of transporting the criminals to it. This is a show that seems like it had potential, and it's just wasted. It's a pretty boring and pointless first episode and second episode that doesn't really add much. It's very subpar at best, and right now, I'll give it another episode or 2 more, and then I'll most likely move on. The animation is nothing special. It just seemed like it had potential with it being set in the Meiji era, where samurais had to learn to start putting down their sword. And just the 2 first episodes, you don't really get anything. You learn a little bit about the 3 main characters, the 3 brothers, but that's really it. Well, that's gonna be all for part 3 of my fall season first impressions. There's still lots more to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 4.